Welcome to Make Possible Bitesize, a weekly podcast brought to you by Permutive, championing change in publishing, advertising and beyond. Each episode, we chat to an inspiring guest about their careers, their lives and how they're making change possible. Let's bite right in. Hello everyone, I'm Alexandra Bannerman, Senior Product Marketing Manager at Permutive. Welcome to Make Possible Bitesize, a podcast series in which inspiring people share how they are championing change and making a real difference in their field. We ask 3 thought-provoking questions of our guests, and we'll get their answers to you in less than 10 minutes. Today on the show, I'm joined by Alexis Faulkner, Head of Fast UK at Mindshare, which is part of Group M. Hi, Alexis.
Hi, Alexandra.
Are you looking forward to today's bite-sized chat?
I definitely am. You've asked us some nice, challenging opening questions.
Right, okay. Let's kick off with our first Make Possible question, and it's a real doozy. What are you most proud of?
Oh, I was saying before, I think this is a really hard question to answer because it kind of gets into kind of what personally motivates you in that side of things. So I guess career-wise, there are a few things, like in my time at Group M, I was at the central Group M team 6 years before I came across to Mindshare. And there I was in a very lucky role. I got to act as a consultant across all our digital businesses, which meant I got to do a lot of innovation stuff, from helping set up and the foundations of our addressable TV product, which has become Finecast today, through to looking at our Group M supply marketplace and working a lot on our disclosed programmatic products. So from a technical and product perspective, I found that amazingly motivating and a brilliant role to be in. But if I'm really honest, from kind of a career side of things, the bit that's kind of motivated me more, where I'm really proud of myself, has been more since I've come into Mindshare. So coming over to an agency, away from that more technical operational environment, you find that you're in demand from so many different areas. So you have the many publishers that want to come and talk to you about their products. You've got the whole team. There's about 120 people in our team, in the Fast team, that need support on kind of what they're trying to grow and scale. And clearly our clients have some really interesting and complex strategies they want to work through with you. So when I first got there, it was a little bit overwhelming, if I'm really honest, the directions I was being pulled in and how to manage a role like that. And I think it was probably the first time in my career I got to sit down and say, how do I control my own destiny a little bit more and change the environment so it worked for me as well as working for what the company needed. And I managed to propose to kind of do a little bit of work, merging together 2 of our teams. We had a digital display team that bought IOs and bought our kind of traditional press, and we had a programmatic team that were very separate, and they were competing for budgets. And by merging those teams together, I managed to ask the lead of the digital IO team to come and work with me. And he does a lot of the team running and the pieces that were pulling me into the day-to-day. So the scoping of our teams, the management of all those people on a day-to-day basis is what the brilliant Dan Beasy, who works with me, does. And then I managed to get away and kind of focus a little bit more on our client strategy, and our products and our development, where the kind of company is going, which is what really motivates me a lot more. So it was the first time in my career I actually managed to change my own world, restructure for the better, and realizing that wasn't just a kind of selfish thing for me, but actually was something that would benefit the whole company. And that's kind of quite a big impact and a big piece for me personally.
Wow, okay. I mean, it sounds like you were faced with a massive challenge there.
It's always going to keep me busy for a while yet.
It's really, really difficult when you're faced with so many people coming at you to kind of isolate what's really important and then make it work for you. So yeah, well done with that. I have another question for you. This one's more future facing. What are you focusing on today to move onward and upward at work?
Awesome. And again, I guess I think about this from the 2 different perspectives. So at Mindshare, we're very focused at the moment, and I think hopefully we'll see the FAST name, which is an acronym not many people know. It's the Futures Adaptive Specialist Team. I think we'll be retiring that at some point soon because we are going to be really focused on outcomes. And as a business, I guess what we've realised is it's so easy in media to complicate the space, especially in digital. But when really what we're trying to do is change people's businesses. We're trying to sell more of their products. We're trying to change perception about their brands. We're trying to increase their share price. Whatever they're in for as a company to try and adapt is what we want to be working on, knowing and working towards. So we want to make sure that we remove all those media proxies, which are great to tell us something about quality or how we're doing on a day-to-day, but actually tell us nothing about the bigger results that we want to have, and make sure we're always working towards those media outcomes. And so that's our big goal for the team, and adapting our products and our thinking and our ability to measure against all of those is really, really important for us at the moment for the future. And I guess if I then reflect personally again within that, I think I've probably given away a little bit of my challenges already, which is that I find it very hard to say no. I'm your traditional people pleaser. When people ask me stuff and I think I can work on it, I get excited and I say yes before even thinking about it. So the challenge for me to develop myself and kind of the growth opportunity is really learning about when I should be putting my time into something and feeling good about saying no to the things that you shouldn't, because otherwise you end up so thinly spread, as I guess you alluded to a minute ago, Alexandra, that you don't actually achieve anything. So my real focus kind of more recently has been deciding the projects that are really my passion points and where I think they will have the biggest impact, and learning how to very politely but very strongly say no when that's not the right thing to do anymore.
Yeah, that's a good lesson for life, I think, generally, Alexis. I know that that's something I think about day to day.
I think a surprising number of us have this issue, actually.
Yes, yeah, people pleasers all over the place. A third and final question for today's show. What is your guiding light, or what's your guiding philosophy in making things possible?
Another really interesting one to have a think about. I guess there's a few different things that really motivate me. I think you're only as strong as your network. So to do a role like mine, you have to rely on a lot of other people that help keep you informed, that help influence so that I can get things done that I need to with the team, and that grow our knowledge and capacity. So I think building that network and that strength and really having that relationship and taking it. I'm not talking so much about going to hundreds of networking events and meeting people across the industry. That's not what motivates me, but having strong, deeper relationships with those people that mean you can get your job done, but also that support you when you're having one of those days where you really would rather not be in work, or something's all gone wrong and you need to lean on other people and kind of help them, or they help you in that scenario. So that's a real kind of guide for me in my day to day. But when I was thinking about this question, I also thought about, there's a wonderful quote from Julian Barnes, who's a UK writer, and he wrote, integrity is like virginity. Once lost, it's never regained. And I think that's a really important thing to think about, is that integrity. Who are you? Maintaining who you are, finding that authenticity in the workplace, and having a bit of fun whilst you're doing that. I know early in my career I was probably quite serious and sensible on a day-to-day basis, but actually learning how to be a little bit silly when you need to be, learning to bring in those elements of your character that maybe aren't so professional. I'm incredibly clumsy. People will notice that about me in the office. There's no point me trying to hide who that is. That is who part of who I am. But enjoying that and then bringing your whole self to work, maintaining that integrity is probably my guiding light.
Oh, I like that. I suppose finding that integrity will also help you in making those relationships that you were mentioning earlier. I was really interested in what you were saying about those relationships. Apart from kind of being true to yourself and showing integrity, are there any other kind of small tips that you would give to someone who's looking to build a network or kind of make those relationships?
Yeah, and I guess it's, for me, it's not so much about the contact. The contact is, people will talk to you about lots of different things, but it's about that knowing who the people are that give you what you need in that moment, but also help push forward your business. So for me, there's either, the senior stakeholders, where if I need a new resource or if I want to propose something for the business, I've got to have the ability to influence them. And that means knowing them personally and what motivates them, so that I can, measure my arguments to that, but also them respecting my opinions and that I will be honest in what I say. I already referred to that network of my peers and kind of the people I work with. They're day to day who tell me what's going on in all different parts of the business, but also help my sanity. I think everyone has moments in work where you just, for whatever reason, it's all gone wrong, or you just feel a bit, down on that day. And they're the people that help pick me up. And, doing that for each other in the workplace is such a support network. And I think you'd be surprised how few people manage to build that out or are willing to kind of open up in those environments, but it's incredibly powerful. And then finally, just generally across all levels of the business, especially in the more junior side of things, you find this kind of reverse mentoring, or actually understanding what the day-to-day is. In a role like mine, there's no point me theoretically solving a problem which looks brilliant on paper, but the reality is the individuals there, won't be impacted by it. It won't have any impact. So trying to find those relationships to learn about the things you don't know. We're all doing that a lot at the moment with a lot of our diversity measures and Black Lives Matters, and trying to inform ourselves on different points of view and opinions. So I think it's incredibly important to not just do it, with your peers and your seniors, but to make sure that you have relationships at all levels of a company and then outside into the industry at large.
Really wise words. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us, Alexis. I hope that was fun.
Very fun. Definitely thought-provoking too.
Great. That leaves me with thanking all the listeners and all the viewers for tuning in to Make Possible Bitesize. We'll be back next week with another inspiring guest talking about what they do to champion change, think in exciting new ways, and make a difference. Bye.